a heart transplant. So after she was told she needs a heart transplant, now her sister, Mrs. Medha Jalota, had also had a heart transplant. It was a problem which ran in the family. And when the family went around, trying to figure out how to do the transplant, where to go, who is going to help us, what are the hospitals, what's the process, and most importantly, are they going to be able to get an organ donor, right? And this is, we are in Delhi, we're based out of Delhi. So at that time, there really wasn't much happening in Delhi at all. Most of everything was happening in the south. Eventually somebody told her that you must go to the south. So her daughter Anika Parashar, who's now the chairperson, she took her mother to Chennai, got registered over there, and eventually in 2013, in December, she had a heart transplant. There was a 50-year-old man who passed away, and they were lucky, and the family said yes very generously, and she got the heart transplant. So before the transplant itself, Anika was very clear that she wanted to do something, to raise awareness on organ donation, make sure that other people get the same help that they got, right? They were told, they were very lucky, they were told that you must go to Chennai, this is what the process is. So they were lucky enough that someone told them about it. So that's why she wanted to start an organ. They already had an NGO called Parashar Foundation, which was doing other small things. So at that time, we started Organ India with the aim of making sure that people around knew what their options were, what to do if they were told that you need an organ transplant. And of course, the second one was to raise awareness by all means necessary. So for the last 10 years, we have been doing that. We have a helpline, 24-hour helpline. People can call us. We can't obviously get them the organ. That's not possible. But we can tell them, you can go here, you can meet this doctor. This is the process. Go and meet so-and-so, whichever city they're calling from. And they call from all over India. We get a lot of calls from all over India, people not knowing what to do, people wanting to pledge, knowing how to pledge. Now, of course, NATO has really, started moving. There's a lot of action happening in the Ministry of Health and in NATO. But back then in 2013, it was very different. And most people didn't know what to do if they were told that you need a kidney or you need a liver or you need a heart. So that's how we began, and that's how what we have been doing. Like you mentioned, so a lot of the things we do a lot of radio programming. So radio is again a mass medium. So that's a fantastic way. In India, you can get through to people, and radio is not very expensive. If you start putting ads in magazines and on television and all, very, very expensive, not possible for an NGO to do. But radio is something we figured out. We record our own shows. We even get sometimes we get an RJ or somebody to record it. And we talk to recipients, donors, doctors. We do a lot of preventive health, because ultimately it is preventive health, right? I mean, you want your numbers coming down in the sense that you must have preventive information on preventive health. So we broadcast that on All India Radio in most districts of Haryana, one district of Punjab, and on community radio stations in Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, UP, and even Haryana. The idea is to find a mass medium, right? I mean, we have great school program. We get to talk to school children from the age of 9 to 12. But individually going like that and going for a mass medium is completely different. So that is one method we have adopted, and we are, thinking of increasing it as well. To go on radio all over. The shows are available. They are in Hindi, but they could, we could, if anybody needs them, even across the country where there is Hindi being spoken, we are most happy to share the radio shows. We have over 150 of them recorded over the last 4 years. And then we tie up with corporates. We tied up with MTV. We did a really good campaign. And again, the whole idea of getting
Mr. Rotarian Deepansha, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Yes, please go ahead. Sorry, please go ahead.
Whatever I was saying. Yeah, so we do a lot of corporate campaigns. So corporate campaigns are good. The whole idea is that initially when we started, we used to have a lot of donor stories. So we would bring out stories of people who had donated, the families, deceased. I'm talking about deceased donations. And we would bring that to the public. But in the last few years, what we've done, and I don't know, it's a subconscious thing, and part of it is also by design, that we try and showcase positive stories, right? We showcase the recipient, because we want people to know that yes, it's, obviously it's a tragedy when someone dies. It's always a tragedy, no matter who it is, whether they're young, whether they're old. But we like to show, we have started now showcasing the success stories, the people who received those organs, how well they are doing, how they were saved, their families were saved, and it was their whole life is completely transformed. So we have started doing that, and in that sense, Dr. Monis mentioned that we had in 2021 we had the opportunity. We got the World Transplant Games Federation got in touch with us, and they said that would you like to consider applying to be the team managers from India for the Indian team, which is going to go to the World Transplant Games. So these games happen every 2 years. They are like the Paralympics. They happen every 2 years, and all transplant recipients and living donors can participate in those games. So if you've had a transplant, like liver, kidney, heart, lungs, pancreas, whatever it is, and you play sports and you would like to participate in it, you can go and participate. And there is one member organization in every country. So they asked us if we wanted to be the member organization. So we thought about it, and the the last time that India had gone to the World Transplant Games was in 2019, and there was a 14-member contingent. And that team was led by Reena Raju, who is from Bangalore. She has a foundation called Light to Life Reena Raju Foundation, doing amazing work out there. So she had led the team in 2019, and there were about 14 people. So we said, okay, we'll do it. And there were some of the athletes were also telling us that why don't you take it up, because there's nobody else. So we applied for it, we got it, and then came the issue of actually getting the team together. Now we are not a sports organization, right? We don't know what to do. So it was a very, very interesting phase in our life, so to speak. And we had to actually get together a lot of transplant recipients and patients who play sports or who wanted to play sports, were fit enough. So we kind of became like a little bit of a sports organization, and we started reaching out to all the hospitals, all the transplant coordinators. We started putting it out. We have a very strong social media presence. So we kept putting it out on social media that there are these games happening. You can represent your country if you're a transplant patient. You can, the whole idea of the transplant games is that people should know that there is a very good, active, and healthy life after transplant. And just because you've had a transplant, that doesn't mean that, oh, now you're a patient and you have to, sit quietly in your house. You have to not do things like that. You can go out there, you can play sports, you can be fitter than most other people around you. So that is the whole point of the games, and it's also to, of course, showcase that the amazing power of organ donation. So we set up the whole thing. We had about 32 athletes who ended up going. There were about 100, but a lot of them couldn't afford to go. Some people had some problems last minute; they dropped out. So eventually, the contingent size was 32. It was very, very difficult to raise any kind of funding. Many of them could not afford to go, and it was in Australia. So you can imagine what the cost was per athlete. It was going from up to 3 lakhs per athlete. So very, very difficult. Finally, we did get some amount of the sponsorship from a NGO and few corporates. And we somehow cobbled together the team. We got them training as well. We found a training partner, and I think we were very lucky in that sense. And eventually, the team went to Perth in Australia, and they did amazingly well, beyond our wildest expectations. And they were like, just like, no, like we also want to give back. Like, we've got an organ, somebody donated to us. We are living a second life. So we also want to show everybody that, look, we are doing something with this life, and we are doing something for the country. So they went there, they won 35 medals. It was absolutely amazing. We had a child also go. We had a 12-year-old who went. And in fact, the next games, which are in Germany, we'll have at least two children going. He won 3 gold medals, by the way. He's from Bangalore. He's a 12-year-old from Bangalore. Big team from Karnataka, at least 6, 8 people from Karnataka. Big team from Rajasthan. UP had 3 or 4. Delhi had very few, just 2. Kerala had a lot of players going, but the rest of the places were not so greatly represented. So we are hoping that in the next games they will be. And we really had an amazing time. And the best thing was, which is what the whole point was, that when they came back, when they came back to India and they went to their various, villages and towns and all, they were greeted with so much love. And that was the opportunity to raise awareness on the subject on organ donation in those various communities all across India. And that was the best part. And that is the whole aim, that these guys come, they go back, they show people that organ donation is not only wonderful, the person is living a great life and they're winning medals for their country. So that is, for us, that was the whole point, that this was going to raise more and more awareness within India, in different parts of India on organ donation and transplant. So I can show you, Mr. Goel, I can share it.
Yeah, please.
So we actually, there's this big film school in Bombay called Whistling Woods, and they made a song. They actually created a song for our team, and we made a video of the song. This was before we were leaving, so I want to show you that. You'll get a good idea about what we were doing and what all went on.
Miss Singh, no copyrights problem, na? Because it's a
No,
live.
no, no
Okay,
copyright.
then please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Merlin Paul.
मैं विजय यादव हूँ.
I am a recipient, organ recipient.
मैं किडनी डोनर हूँ.
I had 2 kidney transplants.
मैंने अपनी वाइफ को डोनेट किया हुआ है.
Indian athletes have been participating at the World Transplant Games for a number of years. This is the first time athletes have had any sort of training.
धड़कन किसी की, किसी का दिल, मौजे हजारों पर एक साहिल, थामे हाथ हम एक दूजे का, तो फिर आसान हर एक मंजिल, खिल गए फूल से हर सू, महके सारी फिजा, हिस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी के आसमां का बन, किस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी की दास्तां का बन, हिस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी के आसमां का बन, किस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी की दास्तां का बन. करें हम कोशिशें तो हर कदम मिले नई दिशा, करें हम कोशिशें कदमों में सारे सपने हो सदा, करें हम कोशिशें तो हर कदम मिले नई दिशा, करें हम कोशिशें कदमों में सारे सपने हो सदा, किसी की जिंदगी के आसमां का बन, किस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी की दास्तां का बन, किस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी के आसमां का बन, किस्सा तो किसी की जिंदगी की दास्तां का बन.
Yeah, so this was the song we made before. And yeah, it was really amazing. It all came together so nicely. And initially we were very scared that, we've taken on such a big responsibility and will we be able to, do justice to it? So when we came back then on August 3rd, which is Organ Donation Day, the health minister at the NATO program that they have every year, they felicitated us and the entire team was felicitated. And it was very nice. So the going forward, of course, we want to take a bigger team, and also we want to have a bigger a national association set up eventually, so that it can go the way Paralympics has gone, right? So they have a proper federation, and now their athletes are supported by the government, and they get awards and all of that. So all this will naturally, lead to a huge increase in awareness. So I mean, I can show this is our social media page. And so this, I just wanted to show you. So this is Bhavani Singh, and he's a nurse actually from Rajasthan. He's a kidney recipient, and Delhi police honored him at the Delhi airport when he came back. And he has a hometown called Jakhal, where he's from. And the entire village got together. They had a bethak. There was a panchayat. People got together. He was put on a horse, and he was, paraded in the town. And they were so proud of him. So so you see how in smaller communities, then this awareness really spreads, whereas people may have been a little wary of organ donation. What is organ donation? Now they are, so happy that he's come back with a medal, and he's represented India, and how there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting an organ transplant, and donation is so good. So this is Abhinav Pangte. He was honored by his district in Uttarakhand. In fact, later on, even the chief minister met him, and his brother-in-law Hira, who are both kidney recipients, and the minister also, kind of felicitated them in his office. So I'm just showing you how they kind of, this is again Bhavani who had gone. So this is again back. This is Tawheed. He's from the village called town called Barabanki in UP. And this is Ankita Srivastav. She's a liver donor. Actually, she donated to her mom, and they are. So they were all, and for us, this was, of course, the best part of it, that they come back, they've raised that awareness while also before going, we also raised awareness after coming back even more. And now we have a lot more people who got in touch with us saying we also want to go to the next games, which are in 2025 in Germany. So for us, it's been, very, very fruitful. And actually, we are also so amazed by the kind of people they are. They are so inspirational even for us. They've gone through so much in their life, and still came back and think so positively, and they are great ambassadors for organ donation. So yeah, it was. I can just show you a few of the athletes, since I think we have a little bit of time, Mr. Goyal, just 1 minute or so.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
We were actually very fortunate because Manav, I don't know if you all have heard of Manav.
Rotarian Gautam Goyal, please mute yourself. Yeah, sorry. Please go
There's
ahead.
this university in Faridabad called Manav Rashna University, and they have the most amazing sports center over there, sports science center. So we were very fortunate that all this training is happening in Manav Rashna University. They came on as a partner. They didn't ask for anything, and they trained all the athletes before going. So, without them, we would never have managed to get this team together, and it's been really amazing. These are some of the organ recipients. As you can see, that man at the bottom, that's Digvijay Singh Gujral. He's from Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, and he's had a kidney problem since he was 1, and eventually he had a transplant at, I think, 20 or 22 or something like that. And this is how he looks now. He's touchwood super fit. Great in squash. He won the silver in squash in the 2019 games, and then he won the bronze in 2023 in Australia. And this is Karan on the top left. He's a heart recipient, and he won 2 silver medals in golf. He's actually he was the captain of the team as well. So they are all just amazing. These are all the donors. On the top left is Anil Srivatsa, who you might all know. He's also very much part of Rotary. and he has an NGO called Gift of Life, and that's his brother on the right. So this was the organ donor, and he was the recipient, and both won. Anil won 3 gold medals. Arjun won gold medal last time, won a silver medal this time in golf. This is the one in the middle on the right is Vijay Bahadur Yadav. He is kidney donor to his wife, and he won the gold medal in the longest race which was the opening event of the transplant games. So he won the gold amongst all the athletes in the 5 kilometer run. And this is of course Ankita, who I spoke about. She is a liver donor. And these are some of the recipients. This is Mr. Balveer, also from Barabanki in UP, who has been going to the games since 2011. Before people even knew there were World Transplant Games or anybody from India had gone, he was going. And he's won many golds and silvers over the year in badminton. This is again Digvijay. This is Balveer. This is Davies. He's also won gold and silver medals. He's from Kerala. And this was our training happening this time, and we had a wonderful event. So
Thank you very much, Ms. Sunayana Singh, for giving the description and the way you have described about the World Transplant Games. And I would like to tell our all the Rotarians members or those who are viewing our show, because this is the first time our meeting is a live telecast. People across the world can watch our meeting, and this is the first time it is happening that Rotary meeting is going to be live telecast like this. But we have decided, so because our club is a cause-based club, and we are promoting, we are giving, we want to create the awareness. So we thought, why not we live telecast our meeting, let the people, those who are not our members, they can also watch the show. And I would like to also inform that Sunayana Singh, in one way, she is my guru, because she is the person who was first time when we organized a program at Mathura with collaboration with Giants Group of Mathura West. One of our Rotarian, he is there, Rotarian Avinash Bhargav. His wife was the president Rotarian, not Rotarian. She was a Giants member at that time, the Deepa Bhargav. And at that time, Ms. Sunayana Singh came for the first time to Mathura to deliver the keynote speech, and she showed films and PPT presentation, and through that we have created the awareness. And that time I decided to go ahead in this particular field in a very big way. So thank you very much, Ms. Sunayana Singh, for giving your views. And we are going to open for the question answers from all our members. But my first question goes to you is, because you mentioned that the players have to pay, the participant has to pay about 3 lakhs of rupees. My question to you is, when no Olympic player, no cricket player, no other world club class players are supposed to pay single penny, rather they are earning lakhs and crores of rupees, why those who have been those who have donated their organs, or those who are recipients, and they are creating awareness, which is the work of a government or other people, why when they are doing it, and when your organization is doing, why the money is to be paid by the those participants? Why not the Ministry of Health, Family Welfare, or the NGOs? Many more NGOs should come together and do it. This is a question to you.
So that's a very good question. So like I said, like for example, the other sports that you spoke of, they all have sports federations. Once there is a sports federation set up and running, then the sports ministry will recognize you, and then after that they will start supporting you. Till a national association and then a national federation is set up, till then you have to do whatever it is on your own. I mean, we are free to raise money from corporates, unfortunately, and other NGOs also, but NGOs themselves are not so well funded in any case. Corporates this time, we had very little. We did go to a lot of them. You name it, we went there. But they had not heard of this before, right? This was like the first time they were actually hearing about it. Like, oh, what is transplant games? This time, because now we have a good body of work to present to them, we are hoping the response will be different. But one can't say, out of all the things that they can donate to, I don't
I,
know if
I
they will
still
donate.
remember our meeting at Delhi when you were appealing for funds, and I said, what I can do is that I will raise this thing in our media conference with Lal Goyal, which I did. But I know that it's very, very difficult to
Very
ask the
tough.
money, and it's not easy. Although our Rotary Club of Organ Donation International is planning to sign an MOU or agreement with the government of Maharashtra, in which we are going to fund for 100 pediatric transplant surgeries, which may be a project of about 20 crores, where we will definitely take the government help plus other NGOs, as well as whatsoever our Rotary Club of Organ Donation International can fund. But it is really, really heartbreaking that a person who has donated or who is a recipient has to shell out 3 lakhs of rupees approximately to participate in these types of games. It is not a good thing. I think we all, the civil society, has to take the responsibility on their own. That if we, I know that's very difficult to ask money. Even for 10,000 rupees, one has to beg, and you are thinking of 3 lakhs rupees one has to pay. It's very, very. Anyway, thank you very much. Now I open it for all the members. Whosoever wants to ask any question, please feel free and ask the question.
I want to ask.
Yes, Rotarian
Actually,
please.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
actually told the donor athlete is, that is, they'll be held physically fit after that. So I want to ask, is there any possibility of infection, transplant rejection, and complication after this transplantation, like blood transfusion and all? No, some people the immunity problem may occur.
Rotarian Hemlataji, you are asking about the sports, or you are asking after the surgery?
Yeah.
Are you asking that?
No, actually, I'm asking, is there a possibility of infection?
Infection after the infection.
Everybody will be fit.
No, sorry. You are asking infection after the sports.
No, my question is, yeah, she told medically fit, they'll be fit like that. What I am asking is, there is any possibility of infection, transplant rejection, and complication during the surgery? And then for some people, no, there is like.
Okay, Miss Sunayana Singh, I think you got her. You got her question.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm using this question is best answered by a doctor.
I'm asking her.
Yes. I will just tell you, Hemlataji, there is nothing like that. Every surgery, whether it's even a cesarean, any surgery can have an infection. Why not? If the hygiene conditions are not maintained in a hospital or the operation theater. Otherwise, it is not like this. If the patients are taking the medicines in time and they are maintaining the hygiene, there is no question of this thing. So many people have got the transplant done. Am I right, Dr. Moniz? Because you are a doctor and you are administrating a very big private medical college here in Mangalore. Yes, Dr. Moniz.
Good evening, everybody. You're 100% right, Lal Goyalji. Now, what is happening is post any surgery, there could be a chance of an infection. And there is one term which Ms. Sunayana used in her talk, preventive health. So the doctor's aim is to do the surgery successfully. We have to anticipate a problem, prevent the comorbidities will rise, and prevent any sort of infection. So Hemalata madam, even the same thing persists with respect to transplants. There could be a high degree of a rejection. But with the medication, with planning, and with the isolation of the patient, all this will deem perfectly fit. And because even if they have to travel all the way to Australia, just imagine 35 contingent members have come from India. But I don't know what is the number of people from all over the world who have actually come down to Australia. It is remarkable.
Yeah. So there were 2,500, and I mean, if you're talking about the athletes going, then yes, they have to be careful. They were masked up as much as possible. Yes. There were COVID tests when we reached. We were supposed to. They gave us a kit, and everyone had to test it. They had all the protocols in place. They also had a lot of doctors. Of course, it was a transplant game, so they were expecting it, right? So at every venue, there were paramedics. At every venue, there was a place you could lie down and get some physio, all of that. They were very, very careful about it because they also understand that these are all, a lot of them are transplant recipients. They could have, face infections. They had kept it very clean and neat and nice, and they were as helpful, like very, very helpful. And everywhere you go, there were doctors, nurses, and all of that. So, yeah, but
Sunayana ji,
unlike
any life lost during this?
Sorry.
Anyone lost their life?
No.
Oh, it's very amazing because Dr. Ramnath Pradeep, if he's there, he and myself participated in the Mumbai Marathon, which was held on 21st of January. 2 people lost their life in the new Mumbai Marathon, one 40 years old only and one 72 years. So one can imagine that how much cares and precautions were taken in the transplant games.
We had doctors going with us. We had a team doctor, Dr. Joe Joseph from Kerala, come along. And we were supposed to have another doctor who couldn't come at the last minute. We had a physiotherapist also. They were on call. In fact, there was one instance where a heart transplant recipient was playing badminton and he was feeling a little bit, so we stopped the match immediately. We said it's not worth the risk, it's just so he sat down and he was fine. He was fine, but we didn't want to take any risk. So it's up to, we also had a responsibility to ensure that everybody is fine. So our entire team management was always on the lookout, like, is everything okay? Is everybody feeling fine? All of that. So yeah, there was that. So yeah, you have to be, obviously, Himlata ji, you have to be much more careful when there are, transplant recipients there. So yeah, so all those protocols, and plus they had to be, the doctors, their own doctors had to give them a clean bill of health before they could leave. So that was a requirement from the federation, that you need to have their doctor's certificate saying that yes, they can travel.
Just another question.
When they were being trained in India, what kind of medical support did they require?
And
they had a long training in India.
Yeah, so they had, we had a 5-day camp twice, once in March and once in August. And it was here in Faridabad. So they had a hospital on standby. And again, most of them were kidney and liver recipients. They were now heart, there was just one, two. But yeah, we had to be careful, and the training session wasn't too vigorous at all. It was as much as they could do. And the idea was this training, it was a whole fitness. They had to see how fit they were. So it was not just training. It was psychological fitness, nutritional. So they were spoken on nutrition. There was psychological, lectures, as well as there was some various psychological training that happened. Fitness training to, see how fit they are, what their they had a whole file on them. And then when they came back 6 months later, there was a review of that have they improved, has the fitness level improved, all of that. So it was not vigorous at all. And we had doctors from a hospital nearby on standby. It was Faridabad, so it was not like it was, out somewhere. It was in the city. So yeah, we had to take a lot of precautions. We had to get bottled water from outside because they were staying on the campus, but they preferred bottled water because obviously. So we got that organized. The food was very nice, clean. It was kind of curated to them. That way Manav Rachna did a fantastic job of looking after them. So it was
very nice. Dr. Monis want to ask you.
For the next competition, Sunayana, which is happening in Germany, have you started a campaign? Is there a campaign which is start? Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, we will begin in February. We will start.
But you plan to beat the 35.
You got the contract for that?
Sorry.
You are the officially announced for the this thing.
Yes.
Very good. So for Germany.
For Germany, yeah, in Dresden.
2025
August. So if you are any Rotary members in Germany or around who would like to come and support us, that would be great. In Germany at the time. In fact, we had got in touch with the Indian consulate and the Indian community in Perth before going, and the Consul General had invited the entire team to come, and they all spoke over there. To the Indian diaspora was there. It was really amazing, and that was the first time we got Indian food over there. So everybody
Wow.
just fell on top of the food, and everybody was having three, four plates because we were so fed up by the time of not having Indian food. So yeah, so that kind of help is very important. Is there food available there? A lot of them are vegetarian. So that was a big challenge in Perth, and I assume that'll be a challenge in Germany as well.
Which part of Germany, Sunayana? Which part of Germany?
Dresden in Germany.
Dresden. Okay.
Yeah. So
Ratul
anybody
Agarwal ji
from
wants
there,
to ask question.
yeah, anybody who from there in terms of sporting, in terms of food, if they can
Definitely. We'll be on the lookout.
that'd be a big help.
Yeah, Rotarian Pratul Agarwal. Yeah.
Yes. Ma'am, were the participants were required to take any formal fitness certificate from any authority, competent authority?
Yeah, they're doctor. Their own doctor. So the thing with the
Doctor is
game,
different thing, but take formal certificate of fitness.
no, they were not. See, the thing with the games is that anybody can go. We cannot stop anybody from going. We just have to facilitate their going, right, as managers. So if somebody who's never even played a sport before says that, okay, I can afford it, I want to go, then they will go as part of the team. We cannot stop anybody. The whole idea is people get gathered there from across the world, and there were almost 2,500 people there. And it was really amazing meeting, so many transplant recipients, donors, families, how they, tackled their illness, how they kind of came out of it. It was very, very inspirational. So they want everybody to come. So there's no sports fitness certificate as such, but they have to have a medical certificate, obviously.
And what was the view of the Ministry of Health and NOTA?
No, they were very happy. So we were felicitated on, the team was felicitated
After the
on.
event, they were happy, but before the event, what was their role of NOTA and Ministry of
Their
Health?
role was not much. They knew about it, of course, but because it was sports related, it was so they knew about it and they were supportive in that sense.
They supported everything except the money. Yes, I think Rotarian.
Is there anything in the Ministry of Sports for this?
No, so like I mentioned earlier, we did go and meet the Ministry of Sports, and they were also very interested, that this was something they had also not heard of. So this was the first time people were hearing of this. This was our biggest challenge, that they had never heard of it before. So they also told us the same thing, that you can get support from the ministry, but first you have to have a sports federation. And then
So I'm sure you are going to have a sports federation soon.
We are looking into it, definitely. It's a big undertaking. So
yes, definitely. Rotarian Girdhari Agrawal wants to ask. Please unmute. Girdhari ji, unmute kariye.
Yes, I think I have met Sunayana Singh ji earlier in Mathura. Do you remember?
Okay.
The first program you had over here in conjunction with Mr. Lal.
Okay, nice.
So anyway, what I wanted to know, if any tragedy happens during the sports event, I hope you are not responsible for anything for that.
I mean, we feel responsible. Not that luckily nothing has happened, and I'm sure nothing will, because everybody has been given a clean check by their doctors. So if somebody hadn't, then we would not even take them. So that's one. Otherwise, no, I don't think so. I mean, everybody understands that there's always this risk, but I don't see why a tragedy would happen.
Even if it happens, it is not the responsibility of the organizer, because they are taking all the permissions whatsoever from the government, as well as the clearance from the ministry and
clearance from the doctors.
The doctors. So there should not be any responsibility.
There were a few people who dropped out, who were actually good athletes. There was one at least who dropped out, and we had who was hoping he would come, but his doctor said no, just skip it this time, and you go next time. Also a heart recipient. So the doctors themselves said that no.
Right.
So that gives an indication, no, that
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other question, please? Yes, you want to ask Dr. Dipan Shah from USA. Yes, Dr. Dipan Shah, please unmute. Please unmute. Dr. Dipan Shah, please unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Goyal and all fellow Rotarians. No, I'm good. I'm very happy to listen Ms. Sunayana Singh's transplant game of what we call here America. It's a worldwide, it's in Germany. It happened also in Australia. It's a wonderful. Actually, I was in one of the transplant game. I'm also, representing MTA Biologics, Johnson and Johnson, and Industry Network also 2 years ago. Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience. Yes. No, I'm very happy and very pleased to listen all this conversation.
Dr. Dipan Shah, why not you ask the companies which you name like Johnson and Johnson and others to sponsor the Indian team so that more and more people will participate without paying any money, which we want. And you are in the USA. I'm sure if you can pursue and you are in this field only, so you can pursue. Ms. Sunayana Singh will be very happy to be connected and give the proposal to you, whatsoever proposal you want.
Yes, I'm very pleased. It's my pleasure, and I will try my best. Yeah, they do a lot of sponsorship program. They do a lot of innovations program, and see, hopefully they can help us, help you, and help the club. Yeah. So
not
yeah,
the club, the country, and at least those donors and recipients, because we do not want that anyone should pay after paying so much money for getting an organ, and then again they have to pay money. It's something very it's not a good thing for all of us, for the civil society. Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Dipan Shah, for giving your
one more thing. So here all these participants, we have hundreds of participants, but that all expenses bear by the organizations, NGO, government, big corporation. They are taking care, not only, but everything from basic, from leaving home to coming home, everything is taken care by them.
but here it is not possible.
Yes, in US.
Okay. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. But here, a lot of the patients, they already spent all their money on the transplant. They have so many costs. They have to have medication every month, which is very expensive, immunosuppressant medication, and keep doing tests and all. So they already have so much of cost on their head. So it's very difficult to take out this money for a sporting event, so yeah, we will have. I mean, if we hadn't got last minute that some sponsorship from this one NGO called Dinesh Vyas Trust, a very generous contribution. Most of these, I think, instead of 32, we would have been about 15 people going. So it's that much. More than half the contingent. So yeah.
Any other question, please?
Have you held any games at the national level also for these donors?
I mean, no, not at the national. In the sense that in Mumbai they have these games. Then in Kerala they had very nice games in December. But and people did go from across India, but because Kerala is far, it's expensive also to go. It was in December, very high cost of going there. So from the north, there wasn't as much participation, but of course from the south, there was great participation, and they were very well done. It was somebody called Heart Care Foundation in Kerala, who had also sent the team doctor to Australia with us, Dr. Joseph. So they had very nice games, but I wouldn't call them national games properly, no. For that, you have to have then a national association, which then holds the games, and it's called national games. It's funded so that people can come and from everywhere and participate. So not yet, but there are games in Maharashtra. I'm sure there'll be more in other states, hopefully. So the more games there are, the better it is, because then you're inevitably heading towards, a complete national games.
Because we should organize so that we can create awareness and confidence in them as well. Then we can attract the sponsors also.
Correct.
How many recipients and donors are there in India? You have any data for this, Ms. Sunayana Singh?
In terms of if you see
who are alive today, who are fit to for the games? Approximate numbers. I am sure it may be in few thousands.
In terms of people who are waiting for transplants?
No. Recipients, actual recipients and donors.
Okay. Yeah. So
because last year we have done surgery of about 14,000 people, correct?
16,000.
16,000. So we have those many people alive, hopefully.
Right, of course.
So we have
very
good potential. Why I'm asking, because Rotarian Pratul Agrawal, he's having a very good sports academy at Mathura, and he's promoting the games, and especially for the girls, he's doing lots of things free of cost, and that's why he's asking so many questions. So definitely we would like to join hands. We want something, but our aim is that the patient should not, the recipient or the donor should not pay anything. We have to work out, even if we have to make the federation, because we have our members like advocate Ramesh Sharma, who is an advocate. Whatsoever formalities has to be, we will try to get it done. We whatsoever help you want from Rotary Club of Organ Donation International, it can be given, so that next games of Germany, you can take as many as athletes, the transplant people, without any cost they should incur. Everything can.
Very nice. What kind of sports academy is it?
It is for cricket, indoor badminton, fitness, and likewise.
Athletics?
Yes, we have ground. We can organize athletics. We have got
because,
big ground.
Because athletics is our biggest, most people in athletics, and we have not had an athletics camp yet. In fact, there is a Transplant Football World Cup also, which is happening in September of 2024.
You can organize hockey and football. Yes, hockey and football.
It's a 7-a-side. It's not 11-a-side, because obviously you can't expect patients to be running around for 30-45 minutes. So it's a smaller team, but we have not yet gotten any camp done for them. So we're looking for a football camp to see if we can even go for these World Cup. Otherwise, even in the World Transplant Games, there is football. So we should have a team ready. So athletics and footballs, we are looking for camps. Badminton we have in here, but not athletics, which is the biggest. A lot of people in athletics.
What we will do is, once you are ready with your plan,
Right.
we will connect you to Rotarian Pratul Agrawal. He is at Mathura, so very close by. One can do it. Okay. Any other question?
I am feeling inspired by you. I am feeling inspired by you, and I will request my president to include this in our agenda.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely we'll do it. Any other questions anyone wants to ask?
I wanted to know how many ladies participate.
Yeah. So who asked me that?
Yeah, him. Hello.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that
asking.
Miss Rotarian Ruby Agrawal asked this question.
Yeah, so that was the biggest issue from the beginning, because we are a team led by women in Organ India, and there was only one recipient who went. Out of 32, there was one recipient who was a woman, and there were 1, 2, 3 donors. But then that's symptomatic of the Indian situation, no? 80% of the donors in India, living donors, are women. So clearly we'll have more women in the sports as well. So in the donor category, we had 3 donors who were there. No, we had 4, in fact, 4 donors. But in the recipient category, we only had 1. And that was Merlin, whom you saw at the beginning of that video I shared. She's a 2-time kidney transplant recipient. She won a bronze medal in athletics. So there was only 1. And we were just, we really wanted more women, but it didn't happen. Not too many came forward. Now, hopefully, we'll get some more women athletes going.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sunayana Singh, for giving your views and answers the questions. And I'm sure that the next games, which will be held in Germany 2025, you will have more and more recipients and the donors, participants, except apart from the lots of money, so that you can take them without charging them. That should be the aim. because I know a few of the recipients and the donors told me that, see, so much money we have to spend every time, it's not possible. That's why I have to ask for these things. So thank you very much, and over to you, Rotarian Pratul Agrawal, for further.
Thank you, sir. Now I think today's issues are over, and I request Rotarian Girdhari Agrawal ji to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pratulji. It has been a very enlightening session with Ms. Sunayana Singh ji, which I have met her earlier as well. And I appreciate what she informed us about the games, the world games which are happening for the recipient donors. What I feel is, I mean, it's a very good information which are given, and these sports were not highlighted so much in the media. I think it should be highlighted more. Probably the Rotary Club and your organization can do something about it. And let us keep hands together to put these things forward. And I thank you all the members who have participated in this very important meeting. And thank you all. Thank you. Back to Mr. Pratul Agrawal, please.
Thank you so much.
Yes, so because today's meeting was especially dedicated for this particular topic, and we have a guest who has given you all the information. And the next meeting, because in earlier meeting we said Dr. Keshwani, so next meeting he is joining Dr. Keshwani for the burn cases for the skin banks, and he will be giving a talk on the next Sunday, that is 4th of February. So, and the next to next Sunday, that is on the 11th, we are going to have an official district governor's visit at Mumbai. The program was already sent to you. The 10th is the district district conference at Mumbai. The conference will start from 8 a.m. It will end at 11:30 p.m. There will be lots of programs, entertainment, as well as talks, as well as breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner, cocktail, etc. And people are saying it's a hearsay. I cannot confirm that even the top entertainment program will be there, including Salman Khan or Deepika, etc., etc. But I cannot confirm right now. So whosoever wants to join, please let me know so that we can give that because the registration, they are closing very soon. Already 1100 people have already registered. So anyone is interested, so they can register. So thank you very much. And I think and no other, as our secretary has already announced, there is no other agenda. And I am a bit in hurry today because I have to go for the next program. So that is which I found that you can watch that program. It's a very important program on the Republic Day, and lots of dignitaries are joining across the world. It's going to be a live telecast once again. The links have been sent to you all. You can watch it. So thank you very much. And